Talks between India and China to restore the status quo, meaning getting soldiers of the People's Liberation Army to move back from the places where they intruded at the line of actual control, have remained inconclusive. A joint press release issued after the sixth round of talks between senior commanders of both nations stressed on the importance of strengthening communication, avoiding misunderstandings, and refraining from sending more troops to the front line. But in a cryptic note, it also added in the list of don'ts: refrain from unilaterally changing the situation in the ground and avoid taking actions that may complicate the situation. It was not immediately clear if they referred to the current situation on the ground or the status quo that existed before Chinese troops started a series of transgressions earlier this year. So what are the implications of this? Are our forces looking at a long, difficult winter ahead? Joining us now, a very special guest, Gautam Bambawale, our last ambassador to Beijing. Thanks, Mr. Bambawale, very much for being with us. It appears that thus far the Chinese aren't interested in going back. Do you believe that at this stage, after so many rounds of talks at so many levels, they have any intent of moving back to pre-May positions?
You're absolutely right, Vishnu, that it appears that the Chinese army, the PLA, does not want to disengage and then de-escalate the situation on the line of actual control in Ladakh. So it looks as if both armies are going to be there not only through the winter, but even beyond that into the summer of next year. We will, of course, continue to talk with each other, but you are absolutely right that the Chinese, having moved such large numbers of troops, tens of thousands of troops, several divisions of troops into the border areas between India and China, are now not showing any inclination whatsoever to disengage or to de-escalate.
Why has China moved into these areas now in the last couple of months?
Yeah, so that's an excellent question, Vishnu. And in my analysis and in my view, there are two reasons why they have done this. One is the tactical reason, of course, which is that they want to move their ground positions right up till what they consider, what in their mind is the LAC between China and India. In other words, they want to tactically decide unilaterally what the LAC will be and is between the two countries. So this is on the tactical front. There is also a strategic perspective. There's also a strategic objective of their move. And that is very simple. The strategic objective is that China wants to show that it is the hegemon in Asia. It is the number one country in Asia, that there is a huge asymmetry of economic, military, and comprehensive national power between India and China, that India must understand its place in this hierarchy in Asia. And this is the message that China wants to send, not just to India, but to Asia as a whole and the world at large.
Do you believe that this is being coordinated directly on the orders of Xi Jinping, or is this the Chinese military acting with the tacit understanding of the top?
My understanding of China, Vishnu, leads me to believe that such movements of large numbers of troops, tens of thousands, several divisions of troops, as I have said earlier, cannot take place without the knowledge and perhaps the approval of the topmost authority in the Central Military Commission of China, which is the chairman of the Central Military Commission of China, which, as you and your listeners, your audience knows, is currently Mr. Xi Jinping himself.
You've been ambassador over there in the not too distant past. Did you, over a period of time, believe that the Chinese were headed in this direction? Because during the Wuhan summit, there was a sign that India and China were moving towards peace. Or was that, in fact, a facade?
No, it was not a facade. Let me say that that was definitely a stage in the process. But we were quite aware, and we had the inclination, we had the foresight to know that the relationship could move in any one of two directions. One is to take the friendship and the nice relationship forward. The other was to then move in the other direction which obviously and clearly the Chinese have done. Therefore, I come to the conclusion that China has decided that it wants a particular kind of relationship with India, a tense relationship, an unbalanced relationship, a not so friendly but competitive relationship. And I think that is what is going to happen in the coming weeks, months, and years. Relations between the two countries are deteriorating even as we speak, and they're set to deteriorate even further.
Why do you say so, sir?
I say so because the move that the Chinese have made on the borders with India is an unfriendly move. It has violated all the agreements that India and China have signed since 1993, and there are many agreements, as you know, to maintain peace and tranquility on our borders. And by violating those agreements, they have violated and ensured that there is no peace on our borders. Now, if there is no peace on our borders, and it is an undemarcated or undefined boundary, as all of you know, then the rest of the relationship cannot remain as it has been for the last 20 odd years, ever since the then visit to China of our former Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. And this is exactly what the government of India has indicated to China, to the Chinese authorities, to the Chinese leadership, that if there is no peace on the border, the rest of the relationship cannot be as it was. It will get worse, it will deteriorate. The steps taken by the government of India on the economic side, the banning of Chinese apps, the fact that public procurement will ensure that Chinese companies are no longer given contracts, the tightening of FDI regulations for Chinese companies, all points to this. It is a way to show our displeasure and disappointment to China. And it is also a way to show that we do not agree with any of the propositions that China is trying to place in front of us, in front of the Asia, in front of the world, that it is the hegemon in Asia. We do not accept that proposition.
Ambassador Bambawale, let me ask you a direct question. Given the situation on the ground in Ladakh, do you foresee a military clash?
Look, I would say that any planner, whether in the military, whether in the government, whether in on the diplomatic side, will put a certain probability on that outcome. We cannot write it off entirely. We must be prepared for the worst. And I think our planners and our armed authorities, our armed forces, our government and our people should also be ready for this kind of possibility in the coming weeks and the coming months. I would say the probability is low, but it is not zero. There is a certain positive probability of that occurrence happening.
Ambassador Bambawale, pleasure speaking to you. Ambassador Gautam Bambawale, our last ambassador to Beijing, somebody with a very deep understanding of how the equation between India and China has worked over the last several decades. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you.